Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back in another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing uh, part number 13 of the ongoing series here on my channel of reviewing the MCU. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing Doctor Strange, which released in the year 2016 here on my channel. So without ado, let's get into it. So yeah, we're gonna go with my initial reaction, the bad, the good, and my final thoughts slash score out of 10. So my initial reaction, honestly, in my personal opinion, I know there's a lot of people that like this movie, but personally, in my opinion, I am more of like in the middle on this movie. Uh, I don't like love it or anything, but I don't hate it at the same time. It's kind of like in the middle for me, honestly, in the MCU. Definitely though, it's still an interesting movie. It has interesting plot points and everything. So yeah. Anyways, continuing on here. So let's go into the bad. So in terms of the bad, there's quite a few things that are bad with it. First of all, a lot of the writing isn't perfect. Isn't very good. Um, the writing isn't too good. A lot of unanswered questions, at least that I have. Yeah, we'll get into that just in 2 seconds. But another thing I want to say is pretty bad is the villain. The villain was not good. Caecilius was like he could have been an interesting villain. Let's face it, he could have been an interesting villain. But I mean, they made so many wrong mistakes with him. They just made him like kind of like that stereotypical villain. But it's just they didn't show too much. Like maybe honestly I think it could have been elevated a little bit more if he got perhaps like maybe when he first came in, like we saw like a flashback or something. Like that would have made it so much better. But I mean like Caecilius was kind of bad. And it's a shame too because that was Mikkelsen, I think that's how I pronounce his name, and he's a very good actor. So it was kind of really hurtful to see that he was essentially wasted in the MCU. So I wasn't really liking that too much. And then Dormammu kind of sucked as well. I mean Dormammu's open to come back eventually. So I mean I'm not too disappointed with that. But I mean his use in this movie was kind of bad. I don't know why they brought him in when they had Caecilius. So yeah. And then there's the topic of the ending, the way, especially the way with Caecilius being ended like that. That was just a weird ending. Barely even like a fight. Like this movie at the end barely, or it did kind of prove Doctor Strange to be worthy of Sorcerer Supreme, but that was just really against Dormammu, not really against Caecilius. So yeah. Uh, Another thing I kind of dislike was the writing towards the like the mystic arts and stuff. That's something I was kind of disliking. I'm gonna be fully well honest. Like I didn't. It's not I didn't understand, but it was like where are all these guys? Like why is it only, for example, later on in the MCU, why is it only Wong and and Doctor Strange at the Sanctum Sanctorum in New York? So that was another question I had, and especially too, uh, another big thing. I guess they're gonna probably address it in Doctor Strange too, so it's not a big problem. But what was Mordo's deal? Like, what was wrong with him? Like, why did he leave like that? I understand why he left, like partially. Like, I know he left because he was like mad that he was deceived essentially by the Ancient One. But I mean, it kind of made a little to no sense. So yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the bad. In terms of the good, personally, I like the character Doctor Strange. I thought he was really good. Character development wise was pretty decent. But I mean, I suppose the character development will get better in more movies later on down the line because in this movie you could see he has character development. Like it starts off with him being an egotistical doctor who's really just a jerk all around, and then he develops into this more I'll help people and everything, but he's not like this is not the greatest of character development. It slowly is getting better though, so I was glad to kind of see that. I really like the visual effects. I would say this movie has the best visual effects of the MCU, or at least top three. Uh, It had a lot of good visual effects. I really liked the like mirror dimension effects, all that kind of effects. It really looked really cool. Uh, I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, and I thought the characters, for what it's worth, I thought they were pretty interesting. Like I thought the agent was really interesting. I thought Morta was pretty interesting. I thought Wong was pretty interesting. So yeah, the fight scenes were actually pretty interesting as well, especially for it to be like some sort of magic movie. So that was really cool to see that as well. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it though. In terms of just what my thoughts are on the good and bad. Now, in terms of my final thoughts, again, I still think this movie's in the middle. It's really only always been in the middle for me ever since I first watched the movie. Uh, just again, there's lots of things missing, but I mean, there's a lot of good as well. But I mean, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.